Hey everyone, I'm just going to come on here and talk to you about ignorance because I feel like there is a lot of ignorance in the world about certain subjects and how to do things and how to be kind. Ignorance is the lack of knowledge or awareness. It is a neutral state, being uninformed about a specific topic or concept. This means people choose to be indifferent and choose to be heartless and choose to be mean when they do things online. There's a song out by Europe called The Cult of Ignorance. And it talks about how people are just waiting for the world to fall apart. Kindness is free. I don't wait for the world to fall apart. I wait to choose to be a better human being and help people and be kind. This is what my channel is about. And ignorance for some people is bliss. They much rather avoid conflict than to direct it head on. I've chosen to stay silent about Susie for a really long time because I felt now the time was right to speak my last final truth about her. However, that's not how my channel is going. Everyone who knows me in the anti-Scientology movement knows that I'm a kind, decent person who would give the shirt off my back to help somebody else. I know a lot about the addiction world because I've suffered through addiction my whole entire life. I lost my dad at the age of 14 to drugs and alcohol. I lost my Uncle Knox the same way that Matt Brown died. Let's just be clear on that. My Uncle Knox, he was an alcoholic, and I'm pretty sure he unalived himself. When people are ignorant about the facts around them or not willing to see that somebody is spiraling out of control and not willing to help that person and make mean and rude comments about them, it really does affect people's mental health when you do that. Words have meaning. Words hurt. And when you manipulate the situation and make them feel like their thoughts and feelings aren't valid, it's not okay. For some people, ignorance is bliss. We see it all the time in the elitism of these rich people that don't understand that regular folk struggle with money. Regular folk have a hard time in this world because everything's gotten too expensive. And I blame the politicians at the top. I really do. Because they take money off the top that could help other people. Or they send people to facilities that kill them. There is videos out there online on YouTube about this. Scientology is a human trafficking cult, and last night they won in the city of Clearwater, Florida. They have done Scientology has won in the city of Clearwater, Florida. 3 of the city council members voted to not support the Save the Garden movement and to move forward with the vacation of Garden Avenue to Scientology. Scientology is a human trafficking cult, and Scientology will be my main focus on this channel and other topics like the ignorance. For some people, ignorance is not learning about a topic or not learning about a specific concept. However, it really hurts people when you don't get the facts straight. Or you make up malicious lies about somebody. And it's proven over and over again. So, I don't do this on my everyday life. I don't make up lies about people, but when I see somebody blatantly lying or blatantly manipulating the situation and doing things, it is horrible. Like, I feel like Matt Brown just needed to be surrounded by the people who truly loved him on that day, and nobody came to bat for him. And that was horrible. That was horrible. When somebody's in an active addiction, you don't tell them they need to get off drugs. Or if they're struggling with mental health issues too at the same time, you don't tell them they need to get off the drug right in that moment. They need to be put in treatment for psychological issues that they are going through. Matt suffered through depression his whole life. I suffered through depression right after my dad died for 6 years. It took me 6 long years to get out of my depression. And yes, other tools helped me. I went to cognitive behavioral therapy. And I really felt like Matt could have benefited from some cognitive behavioral therapy, which would have given him better tools to help him cope with his depression. However, I don't appreciate people online saying he should have killed himself. Because that's not what the world is about. The world is about uplifting each other and being kind and treating people with respect. There are a lot of decent human beings out there doing the right things. Like if somebody leaves a purse, they will go out of their way to search for that person to give it back to them with everything inside. And don't do it for clout. And don't do it for videos to make money. There are many content creators making up lies about people to make money off the internet and make blatant lies up about others in this community. I am here to support people who are truly trying to leave an abusive ex in the addiction world, trying to get help, seek help. I've offered information for help on my channel. And there's many addiction spots. One of the best rehabs I know is in Kennett Square. It's called Bowling Green. It helped my fiance. There's also the Betty Ford Clinic. There's also the Mayo Clinic. There's many other clinics that can help with addiction. Just be kind. I know in Washington State, I'm sure there are addiction facilities. However, I don't know all of them. I haven't done research on them, but I will put that in my community post. People who are in addiction world, they want to have help. It's up to them to get the help that they need. If they are not ready, they aren't going to go into a treatment facility. It's just a proven fact. We all saw it with my dad. He went into 4 different rehabs and it didn't work. I feel like cognitive behavioral therapy might have helped him too as well. Cognitive behavioral therapy gives you tools to help you get through these horrible, horrible times. And I truly believe there is a cult of ignorance in our country. People who don't respect the rights of others. Our politicians are making some of the worst policies in history. Criminalizing homelessness, making it impossible for people to live in their vans and their RVs, and criminally charging people for living in their vans and RVs and their cars. I speak the truth on this. There is a cult of ignorance. Scientology is a human trafficking cult that has harmed so many in the anti-Scientology world. Farrell, Cheryl, and Eric, they spoke so eloquently at the city council meeting last night, and so did so many other people did last night. What breaks my heart is that people are hurting, and there is too much ignorance behind some of the things that are being said. Like, when Susie says we are making up alternate universes and imaginary things, it's her way of projecting her feelings onto others and her false inclinations. Because I can tell you, I have never worked with anyone. I speak the truth about my situations and what I have grown up with. And I've spoken the truth on my channel about my dad dying. This absolutely happened. You can talk to my mother. It left a hole in my brother's heart so big that he has anger management issues. Being truthful about what's going on in your life is important. I feel like people like that are spiraling out of control, and they don't know how to get their bearings set back to normal. She claims she's working with a therapist, but her therapist would never tell her to say stuff like that. It's similar to what Nora's therapist allows Nora to do. Nora has spiraled out of control and has done a 2-year campaign against Aaron. A 2-year campaign. Sammy, it's okay. There's a dog outside, and there's a really aggressive dog that lives across the street, and Sammy hates him. Sammy! It's okay, buddy. Sammy! Yeah, sorry about that. But what I want to talk to you about is ignorance. I really feel like we have a cult of ignorance. And when we have people who are sending people hate, that's a cult of ignorance. When we have people that don't know right from wrong, that's a cult of ignorance too, because parents should be teaching their kids right from wrong. That video I did about my house being egged, Susie made it about herself. It had nothing to do with her. And then she inserted herself and said, "Oh, maybe it's something you're doing." No, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm speaking the truth about me on my channel and everything I've been through. I support the shelling community because they don't allow trolls to come in, and they don't allow people to hate on one another. And when you're that ignorant and you have the lack of knowledge or awareness to know that what you are doing is wrong, there's something wrong with that situation. And there's something wrong with how you process information and how you speak about others. There is a cult of ignorance in our society. The rich overlook all the problems that the everyday regular folk go through. They do not care that a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and they could be a month away from being thrown out on the street, or a week away from having somebody cyberbully another person to make them feel like their life doesn't have any meaning. Matt's life had meaning, and he inspired a lot of people, and he inspired a lot of people in the addiction world. And I talk about this eloquently because life is too short to sweat the small stuff. This is why it is important to tell your loved ones every single day how much you love them and how much you look forward to seeing them. We do have a cult of ignorance when it comes to drug addiction, mental health issues in general, and homelessness in this country. People who are homeless, they absolutely deserve to have the EBT. The people who lived off of it did not deserve to have the EBT because they abused the system. And they abused the system that was supposed to be there to help them get on their feet. The policymakers are making some of the most horrible decisions in our country in the last 50 years. Criminalizing homelessness, criminalizing the van life, criminalizing the homeless people who live in RVs. Sometimes there are RV parks that have a reasonable price for you to stay there per day, but you really have to do your research online. I know at Cape Henlopen State Park, it's like $30 a day or something like that. Try to find an RV park where you can park your vehicle because it might save your life. Another spot is a gym because people go in and out there all day long. And you can actually go in if you have a gym membership and get a shower. I know the Walmart where my friend's 5 siblings that died in that tent from carbon monoxide poisoning, the Walmart was trying to help them. The Walmart allowed them to come in and get washed up every morning. They even snuck them food because the people at the Walmart were kind. And the Walmart manager knew they were living behind the Walmart. Instead of doing policies that hurt people, we should be doing policies that help people and uplift people and treat people how they want to be treated. So just have a wonderful day. Later today, me and John are going to go to the beach. It's going to be fun. Take time for your family and friends. Don't be a part of this cult of ignorance. Be aware of your surroundings too. Because I heard another story about a woman being filmed with her 2 children and her mom was in the bathroom. This man stepped up to the plate to help them because he watched this guy as he was surveilling them and had earpieces on, talking to somebody in a foreign language. They were going to try to traffic these children. That's why it's so important to be aware of your surroundings and make yourself aware of things that are going on with you and around you. That's why when I was in Florida, I was always walking with my fiance around town. Because Florida has become a hotbed for human trafficking. And it's the truth. And I make myself aware of topics. And drug and alcohol addiction, I am very aware of how drugs work because I've lived through it. My mom has been a part of AA since I was a teenager. and I went to Alateen, and I went to many other things growing up that no child should have to go through. No parent should have to bury their child due to addiction. But sadly, it happens all too often in our country. And there is a lot of ignorance about addiction and mental health issues. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Take time for your family and friends. Do the things you love and support the people you love, and have a wonderful day.